It's going to be fast, very aggressive double push out towards middle. Fady probably heard these steps, but he might not be prepared for the ladder drop. And as the rest of ATK group up for stairs, there are 2 players tucked away. This is the perfect setup here for Complexity to succeed, but the double kill comes through from ATK. So they will have themselves an open B site. It's only JT who can stop them, and he will throw himself into this site. He will get activated, starting to take some tags up, and Modem will find the headshot, but there goes Floppy. He finds his double kill, and it's Modem against his former teammates in a 1v2.
Oh, man. Scary prospects here for Modem, forced to reroute, though, elsewhere. Going to take the longer way around this clutch, and can't really blame him. Has the bomb in his control, so in this 1-on-2, you know there's going to be some pretty wild gaps here. He's going to climb up the ladder, go in towards the mid side. And in the meantime, you're just wondering, how long do Cole stick to their positions? You got Floppy and Fang, 2 players you can trust to land some shots, and here's where they go on the aggro. They finally made the decision. They clear out the B side. That's going to be valuable information just in time here, as Modem looking to make his position towards middle.
He hears players on the B site, though, and that's just going to make him go away. He understands, okay, they're probably both sticking together, and they're just going to give me a free plant. Bottom makes a good read of the situation, be able to set down that bomb, and now it's on everything, how he plays the position. Both players playing together. Floppy just hit the instant headshot. Not a chance to even reposition. Modem saw the freight train coming his way. He wanted to get out the way, but it does not move. No one can stop the flop.
Cannot stop the flop right there. And you can see smiles on the faces there to open up things. Again, not a lot of pressure on Complexity right now. They're feeling quite happy with that opening result. A little bit of aggression thrown out towards ramp, but all recovered. Or rather, stairs, but all recovered quite nicely there from the duo. Again, when you got Fang and Floppy in a 1-on-2 clutch, you really like the rods, just given the mechanical prowess of those two.
So, ATK at least bring in this 4 spot. You do see Swisher and Modem pick up the rifles. Fang making a lot of noise. Mr. might try to see an opportunity for a timing, and oh yeah, he does, but I think he's been spotted in, yeah. JT will lock that one in. Timing potentially hit there by Mistum, and nothing's getting past Grim. No one got past Grim, as he was the first line of defense, and he just lined up a triple kill. Both AKs in that mix as well. Complexity starting this one off hot.
Yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare routine right there for ATK, right? Grim showing up with a sequence like that is exactly not where you wanted him. You wanted him, you know, maybe a little bit late to activate. That's a lovely shot from Fady, man. What a absolute blinder, but it's all a consolation prize at the end of the day. We know which way this round's going. Not too bad here. We'll see if Fady can find anything on the exit. Again, though, Crim playing like that, very, very scary. I mean, just, I don't know, what he's been able to get away with, right? Even in that match versus FaZe, it was unbelievable. The guy was pulling through massive numbers. This was, again, the Grim that we were hoping we could get when he was on Liquid. Didn't quite show up given the role issues. And I think finally he's falling into his full form here on Complexity. And it's so, so nice to see.
Yeah, Grim was playing like he was against MIVR in all of his games. I'm referring to that series where he dropped 123 kills.
Oh yeah, that one.
He was on.
Forget.
He was on pace at a couple of series, I swear. Molly nade combo doing great damage over to his ATK.
Let's just get tossed. I think it may be another Molly, which could be thrown out towards middle. All 5 players look to test the waters here. Can they do any economic damage? That's a key. Halls are going to deny that. 1, 2, and 3. Gonna quad up. Grim denies the ace, man. He has to get his, of course. That's a bit.
I see Halser just say why.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Read some lips there. Oh man, that's a good question. You know why? Why did he steal the ace?
3-0 start though for Cole. That's all fine and dandy. ATK finally with the first gun round out. This is just the price you have to pay for losing the pistol. And now this is the price you have to pay, potentially, for picking this map. They had the option between Ancient and Vertigo, and I would understand why you don't like to play Ancient, considering just the overall stead and the amount of times that Complexity, you know, they generally enjoy the map. Vertigo is just such an odd pick in this veto.
It is. I mean, given the best of ones here, it's interesting that Cole have allowed this to take place here. You get a lot of vetoes. So, you know, surprising that they went to this map, but so far, so good. It's working out. Fang deep with ramp control here. This is impressive ground that they've been able to take. Now, ATK are going to look to pry that on back from their hands here, but Fang has already retreated. In the meantime, they're going to have to use a plethora of utility to regain this control that Fang's evacuated from.
Did he see the foot? Foot was spotted, but it doesn't matter. JT has the cover. And a great nade even tossed on in from Fang. He hears the footsteps incoming. They're going to brawl for this. JT and Fang want to play this one together towards the short shelf. And with Halzer dropping mollies on the site, they don't want to wait for this plant. They just want to get the frags. JT a 1-for-1. Fang still battling, though. But they all fall. Modem gets a double kill. And now Halzer up above. No one's watching except for Mr. He comes back to clear, saving his teammate. It's Floppy for the clutch. He's done it before from this position. He's had himself a 1v5. We'll see if this could work. Floppy shifting between positions. Time beginning to tick. He has a smoke and a kit, but 3 players, that's too much to do for. He needs kills. And ATK are not giving them to him. Odin's still holding. Jiggle beat game. Nice headshot. Instantaneous. He'll at least try to save his weapon here now as he collects the kills on the back end. Floppy is going to find all 3. Nothing. No one survives the flop. That's a new t-shirt to print out, Complexity.
Yeah, that's a nice sequence of kills right there. Floppy's just so aware of where his opposition could be. It's a shame that couldn't have come earlier, though, for Complexity. ATK take a lot of economic damage, but I mean, I was about to credit Cole for the rotations right there. I mean, they just seemingly had ATK's number, but the individuals pulling that one back, man, again, missed him, and Bowden bringing that into position. Modem playing a very good game as well. ATK, there's no round that they're going to count themselves out of easy.
I do want to correct my statement that I just made about Floppy having a 1v5 from that position. He was 1v5'd from that position. I should correct myself, by the way.
Maybe that's why I didn't close it out.
Yeah. Old Cloud9 roster got 1v5'd on the A site.
Unfortunate there. They'll have to...
It was to another NA team, so it's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's all good then.
None of that
lull in ACS taking place. Or maybe more of it, I don't know.
None of that refresh stuff or, you know, whatever that happened over there.
Can't remember, blocked that one out. All I remember is Cloud9 victory to make the finals here. All that being said, Floppy doesn't realize how deep Swisher's made it, but I don't know if it's going to matter. They've got so much pressure and positioning here. Yeah, Swisher showing face here, reveals his position, and they still have to figure out Floppy.
I think they realized that Floppy could be playing from this position, and they will molly him accordingly. Smoke has to be deployed. Weird set of circumstances befalling this B side. Now it has to beat this B side. They've lost their mid lurk. And now it's going to have to go through. It's Grim and Floppy on the hold. But great flashes. Grim suppressed for the moment. But now JT is here. The whole gang. But Modem again. That's a double. Making 3. Modem is hard carrying through these rounds. Against his former teammates. He's doing it. And Halzer couldn't hit the shot. Bomb's going to get planted. Modem and Bowden to try and make it happen for ATK. Complexity trying to wrap up the site. Modem, do you have an ace in you against your former teammates? He doesn't. The spray just barely off the mark. But boy, what an effort.
Oh, man. Heroic right there for Modem. He's putting up an incredible effort right now, man. Punching back against this Complexity team in rounds that he has no business getting anywhere stuck into it. And again, this is a scary ATK, right? I talked about some of the names heading into this, right? It's Bowden that you really expect good things from on those CT side, working with the op. You got great work being done from Swisher, of course, but man, Modem's always a welcome prospect. When this guy has a game, and when he's firing on all cylinders, he can become unstoppable. He does have that ability, and he's showing it early. He just needs some supporting staff.
He's been ATK's strongest player as of late, and that's for people who might have not checked in on Bottom in a long time. That might sound surprising. Bottom has not normally been the player to haul teams to victory. He's been on these entry roles. He's been on these supportive plays. He's been at the forefront of the ATK team, and it's going to have to be again. As it's just a barrage of flashes in the sight. This time, Bottom is a Tech 9 running into some of NA's finest. And Bowden will get cleaned up as well. It's going to be this 2v5. Missed him wrapping the whole site. And we should see this eco be cleaned up. This will be a 5-1 start for Complexity, but it's far from the end of the world for ATK.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow to activate, sure, but...
Oh.
Maybe an op to be retrieved here. Mr. going to play a little bit of trigger discipline. Now,
This
how
is,
far can he get? How much value can he get out of this clip here?
Someone's going to turn around, surely, right? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Swampy had the deagle out.
Man. Oh, what? Turns around. He's like, oh, there's a guy behind me. I got to react quickly. He is ready.
I can't believe it. He's just walking around with a deagle. Not even his knife out, his deagle. Why does he have a deagle? I guess he picked it up.
Yeah, probably picked it up from one of the ecoing rounds right there. Either way, it's another round where Bowden doesn't have an op just yet. A bit problematic, right? But not too much to worry. We're still stuck in early on. ATK looking to build themselves up a good CT side here. A lot of aggression.
Oh boy.
Double up on the flashbang. Unfortunately, Grim blinded up, though. Still doesn't matter. JT is setting his teammates up for success. Fady could do nothing but duck and cover. Fang still sticking out on the side hall. Eventually to be traded. But they're still holding on to that man advantage.
Still, there actually are some problems as Complexity can't really fight. If they throw the wall smokes in, could have been problematic. But now Grim is even in the play. JT hands out a dink. Halzark's in position. Complexity are definitely in force. They got these wall smokes tossed in. And looking to flash in, looking to take the fight right to him. They might be man up, but they are manning up right now by taking this round in their own hands. Missed them. Will get the one. That's it. 6-1, and that's Complexity looking systematic.
Yeah, this is more like it here. Again, JT is calling some nice rotations right now on the CT side. He's being very proactive. All of AT, or rather Complexity, are being very proactive. In fact, constantly being on these different pressure points. Probably pretty tricky to deal with if you're in the ATK camp. You can't really respond to some of the aggressive points. They're walking into these stacks pretty consistently.
You want to hear a stat? ATK so far have 0 opening kills.
Yeah, not too surprising. I mean, the one round that they were able to capitalize off of was like a 3v5, and Modem just was nailing a couple of openers.
The break a lot of these rounds was Modem, but starting to cool off with Grim starting to alight. Same goes for Floppy. 9-1. Fast up ramp. It's going to be these Tech 9s. It's going to be another one of these. Should be a cleanup round for Complexity. That's a good smoke. That is a T-side smoke tossed in. Helps you lurk up, and it also stops mollies like that.
Oh, right there, it's used to perfection here. Very interesting smoke. I'm wondering how Complexity are going to utilize that here. Going on the aggro. They are definitely coming into this Vertigo well prepped right now. Wasn't sure what we were going to get out of them on this map, other than their lackluster result
Bottom,
here
though.
versus Complexity, but there's a couple of trades offered up there, and already wrapping in Modem. He's doing it again. He's turning for another. Halzark drops, and Modem is single-handedly pulling ATK across the line. He finds a 4K with the Tech 9.
He's giggling. He's laughing. He's laughing in a major qualifier. He's loving every second of it. I mean, the way he did that was just unreal. He was just playing on the edge of the one-way. And then he used their one-way to his own advantage and then proceeded to just bulldoze the rest of the site. That is just unreal.
Oh, man. I mean, that's such a gift round right there for ATK. Think about what they can do with that now. They've got Bowden on the AWP. Everyone right where they want them. Bottom's on 12 kills at the moment. The guy's unstoppable. He's doing everything for the team right now. Bowden looking for a piece of the pie at the moment. He has the right angles. He has the right ideas, but no one's giving him fights at the moment.
Looking to try and escort them through, but another smoke goes towards bottom ramp. Complexity forcing ATK to play a patient game. Grim as his smoke fades, though. It's going to be a deep smoke tossed in, plus the flash, plus a blind bottom. The heaviest hitter down, and in an AK traded an upgrade for Grim. It's Complexity mass towards this B site. ATK might have to throw themselves at the wall once more. JT playing a very exposed angle, though. One flash could be his demise, but Swisher will jump the gun. And then JT even swings for a double kill. Going above and beyond. Fady out middle will get dropped by Halzerk. It's going to be Bowden off the save, and it's Complexity right back to winning ways.
I just realized Fady did not have armor. Saw him get aim punched there a little bit. Unfortunate. I guess it's not going to really change the end result of this round. Wasn't going to be much opportunity to pull that one back. But, man, making sure you save onto this op is of the utmost important right now. He's just been spotted towards the bottom of ramp here, playing around his smoke. Oh, my goodness. He's getting spammed down, but he's able to stay alive. So, all okay. All good. This Complexity right back to winning ways, and that's where the problem lies in. It's just a flash in the pan around from bottom, and then as soon as you like Complexity respond.
I will say that Modem was the player talking about how they perform negatively under pressure. He surely isn't, but oh, it's the rest of the team struggling as JT is locking it down, and the round just ends on the spot. How do you come back from this? You're just immediately, first 15 seconds of the round, 2v5. This is starting to get very dominant from Complexity. They're just starting to get in their face. Nothing gained at any turn. And
yeah,
by the way, 10 rounds deep and 0 opening kills.
Yeah, it's very scary. Right now, Complexity is just constantly throwing different sorts of proactivity on the CT aggression, and you can imagine it's frustrating to deal with for ATK, but I mean, how is Complexity coming into this opening match with so much to wield? They are constantly aggressing every different avenue, and what's promising the most is that they're working out wonderfully. They have great reads, they have great coordination, and this wasn't to be expected. Again, only one map played as of recent versus Liquid in that Blast qualifier or Blast group stage, and it was a loss. It was a close match, granted, but wasn't expecting them to come this well prepped on this map. But that's kind of what JT does. I mean, he's got the ideas, he's got the game plans there. Same with TC, and it's looking wonderful. This little decision to let Vertigo slide on through.
Yeah, and at the same time, you can kind of see this opening success mirrored, and Swisher, well, he doesn't have a kill. All right, I'll just throw that one out there. Admittedly, he's been thrown in the Lion's Den. He has to face off against Grim and Floppy on all of these B takes. And that has definitely hurt the statistics, and you're going to see a timeout rollout from ATK. I think it's a good time for one. The tides need to turn now.
Yeah, they're getting read in upon here. I mean, JT's handling them in some of the engagements at the moment as well, man. It's not stuff that you'd maybe expect necessarily. Have to figure out a way to deal with. JT kind of calling up a storm right now. Again, this map kind of lends itself to the CT side more often than not, so that's something to look forward to here. If ATK can get some sort of cushion, they will be A-okay. I mean, that is for sure. Again, their ramp holds are something to be terrified of. But if Complexity just can continue to stack their presence, go on the proactivity every step of the way, then I don't know. They might just build themselves enough cushion to not have to worry about that.
From attack into attack. The most seamless transition in Counter-Strike. But yeah, Swisher has been shut down. I don't think it's any of it has been truly his fault. It's really the situation. Numerous times ATK have had to execute into a stacked B site. Not only do Complexity have these little opening setups, but they also just have the stacks. They also just have the good rotations, the good information game out towards that A ramp a lot of the time. And I will say the 2 rounds that ATK have won have just been Modem just going Rambo and finding a couple of multi-kills. Here's another stat while we're in this little pause. ATK have a total of 5 2+ kill rounds. Modem has 4 of them.
I was going to say you might have 3, but 4 is absurd. Yeah, they need something extra, right? Again, this is home territory for Bowden back in Stockholm, so, you know, we expect him to maybe rise to the occasion a little bit more so than usual. But like you said, when the pressure's applied, man, so some of these players maybe not showing their full force, and this is, you know, the most literal sense, pressure, right? Qualifier for the major here. We know this team is taking akin to second place quite often, and turning that around is easier said than done, especially up against the Titans. But it's a tough call, right? It's a tough pullback here. We'll see if they can stop the momentum anytime soon.
Yeah, getting things sorted out. I think on the ATK side, you can see the headphones are off in Stockholm, trying to reorganize. So we do just await. So yeah, we look at the pressure game here for ATK in particular, and ATK, it's an interview with Modem just talking about the, you know, how tournaments get, as they get deeper and deeper, it feels like ATK perform worse and worse. They were favorites at Philadelphia 17 to potentially even win the event. Their form was that good prior to that. They had done well in ESL Challenger League. They had done well in qualifiers, but have just barely fallen short. But they weren't able to make it happen regionally. They qualified for the RMR pretty smoothly. Is the biggest thing here at the Road to Rio. They made it here smoothly, but of course it's always about that pressure. It's always about, you know, what's on the line. That gets to your head, then just, if you can't perform, you can't perform.
Yeah. Again, it would have been really nice for this ATK team to maybe shake it off with like a final qualifier win, because if you take a look at their past here, it's kind of been consistent second places at all of these challenger events, man. I think Challenger Valencia, it was a second place that they got dealt. It was the same case when it came to
qualifiers,
you know,
of course.
Some other events. Yes, that's right. Qualifiers to make it into these events, right? And that's where you really get to test your steel on the pressure. That's when the pressure, it rises to the occasion when you're trying to qualify for these events, and they've always kind of fallen at the wayside here, and you're always hoping that they can turn it around, right? Because you know this team's putting in the work, and you see them at their peak in the earlier stages of these qualifiers, but bringing that into the most important games, sometimes that's when they slow down, and obviously that's problematic.
Yeah, and they've missed out on the experience that these teams are gaining, especially, I mean, Team 1 in particular have qualified to a number of international events, and many would say that Team 1 have definitely surpassed ATK. They've seen their power wane a bit in this region for sure. After, I think they gained a lot of steam off the pickup of Swisher, but recently times have been tough for ATK, even in the regional competition. That's been a big talking point. So ATK are looking to turn their fortunes around at the RMR. This is what they've been preparing for. They've been qualified for the last month, and I'm sure this is all that's been on their mind. I'm sure that's why this Vertigo pick comes out, but these rounds haven't been anything more than the Modem show. Incredible. Great to see him performing in good stead. But as we were talking about with that Pain Arctic series, you need someone to stand beside him.
Well, and I think it's promising that Modem is able to identify that weakness, and maybe that's of value, right? Understanding that, yeah, we do have the issue of kind of choking out in these qualifiers when it matters the most, right? And knowing that that's a weakness is probably something that Modem has been able to use to his strength there eventually, because he's seemingly coming into this match without a single bit of pressure in the world, right? I mean, he knows a lot of these players quite well. He's familiar with a lot of these matchups, right? I mean, ATK versus Extra Salt once gone by the name, they've been familiar matchups pretty consistently, so you know, it's not like this is any new competition. It's just underneath a different banner here in Complexity, a partnered team, and in Complexity certainly using that to their success, right? They've been able to gain experience, and I think they are leveling up, whereas ATK maybe struggling to follow suit. And I wanted to correct myself, it was 3rd place in Valencia that they were able to make it, and then 2nd place in the Melbourne and Rotterdam qualifiers. So you can tell this team is so close to greatness.
So close to making these international appearances. So close to kind of making a name for themselves. For the international viewers joining us, may have not seen too much of ATK. Hoping to give their big introduction, but I think Complexity has kind of been shown out to the world as a formidable team. A lot of expectations riding for this unit, and they are currently meeting it up 8-2. As we jump back into live play, though, ATK are looking to make things happen with a gun round. From the break, from the jump, a fast A-ramp play. JT, though, wants to shut it down up above, and he'll find Mistim. Great pre-aim, and then Fang will strike as well. It's the same old here for Cole, shutting them down with these opening setups.
Yeah, the opening woes continue here, man. ATK just throwing themselves at the wall there, especially after that little tech pause. You're hoping that maybe you can catch Complexity a little lackadaisical, a little slow to start, but the fact that they just come in punching right back there, the utility, the reads once again are so well placed. It seems like JT knows exactly where they're going, and there's always extra positioning for that little contingency, but Bowden does answer back with a big kill. That's a response that's potential to offer ATK back into this round.
Falling onto the platform, does Floppy want to fight? No. He will extinguish and fall back. Fang at the same time. You can take this elevated angle. Did he see Fady at all? I'm not sure. I think he did. All might be in. You see the spam coming through, and then Fang will be able to strike, taking down Fady. And now a 2v4. ATK sent reeling. It's Bowden and Modem. Modem got chunked down low, so he didn't really want to take the fight up towards the B stairs. And 20 seconds left. Are we just calling it quits again?
It doesn't seem too far-fetched. I mean, I guess that is kind of the call. Like, it's another one of these occasions where the opening picks, the opening occurrences just don't work their way here. And, you know, the hyper-aggression from ATK, it's kind of a trademark for them. They love to go for these early plays, try to find their success, but right now it's getting punished handedly. And it doesn't seem like they have a great secondary game plan to bounce back in these rounds to make things work for them to really go for these consistently, right? I mean, eventually you have to kind of swallow your pride and adjust the setup, the game plan here, because the early incursions towards, you know, the B ramp or B stairs and the A ramp are not going your way.
I mean, you saw that move there by Swisher. You might think that's a silly one, but they've been, Complexity have been so consistently fighting outside of that smoke that Swisher thinks he can hit a timing through it. It's just unfortunate that Complexity have a 3-man setup lying in wait for a full rush. This time around, there's only a 2-man setup. This time around, there's Halzerk. And damage exchange, Halzerk ends up on the worst end of it. Fady, though, might be walking into the Lion's Den in just a second. JT holding it off. Fang, what a shot, though. Deagle headshots have been the only kills coming out from Fady, but that is a great start, and that is ATK's first opening kill of this map.
It's crucial that you capitalize off of that now, right? You finally found what has been eluding you throughout this entire game. Now, what matters most is you actually making it work. You using that opening to a round conversion here. It's easier said than done. A lot of utility lies in on the remaining Complexity players. With a minute left on the clock, we'll see if they can burn any out.
Very well-timed molly from Complexity. They're taking back this control at the perfect timing, but they do catch Halzerk. Bowden, though, does fall, and Fang finds a double kill. Oh, this round was looking so good for a split second, but the rifles are taking it back. It's Fady, an AWP, a 1v2. Fang is on the chase, and it's Complexity up to 10. There was a moment where you thought ATK could pull it off, but Fang turns up with a 4K.
Man, again, the reads from JT, the mid-round calling coming through from him is pristine. Look at the stack. Look at the reposition coming through in that 4-on-5. Just collapsing it up on that A side. It's exactly what Complexity need to do. It's exactly where they need to be. And JT is not only calling up a storm, but he's also delivering in the server. He's second frag rate behind the monstrous Grim.
Bang, looking amazing out there. Complexity still just making all the right calls despite being down in players. They're playing like a top-level team right now. Smoke coming in. No, Wisdom finds the opening kill this time around, striking down JT, getting aggressive. Bottom doesn't get any vision onto Fang. And Fang basically just called it all clear. He didn't hear anything. Didn't see anything. Complexity. Starting to doubt whether it's A or not.
Soon they might have some relief. Little boost being assembled here. They've entrusted the entirety of this B side though on Halzer's shoulders. And again, a player you can trust. He's been hitting the shots necessary. Gonna walk in slowly but surely, taking a high angle there. Boda gonna fall, but Swisher offers up a trade. That's his first on the board, but an important one to find.
We'll be able to cross into the site. Bomb should get planted shortly. A Floppy might want to get involved. In fact, they're not going to plant. They've taken their sweet time about it, and Grim and Floppy will come through and skewer the site. It's Fady in a 1v3 all of a sudden. And this is going to be 11-2 unless he can pull off some magic. Back turn to Fang, and he will sink his teeth into that one. 11 now for Complexity. You think there's a single foothold in that round for ATK, and Complexity come through and prove you wrong.
Yeah, and this is Complexity proving that they have leveled up since the days of this once rivalry. It's a completely different look right now. They are, you know, winning rounds that they probably have no business winning right there. I mean, even losing that B site and then being able to just so swiftly recover it with ease. Grim continuing to dominate on the server. JT sending his pieces to the right places, and it's not so pretty finally, though. Grim whips the spray. Well, not so pretty, but he's already done his job in the half, right? You can excuse him. He gets one of those freebies.
But in these 4v5s, Complexity have been invincible. And they've even gotten Fang down towards the bottom of ramp. Look at this. You see, this is why Complexity are so good in the 4v5. They just play this information game, it seems, so perfectly. They'll group up back towards B stairs, and there's a 3-man stack waiting for them. And the thing is, ATK have no flashes, no utility whatsoever. Only the bullets in their gun, and that won't help them here. 3K for Floppy. And 4v5s, what are those? Complexity don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm getting to the point where maybe it's not even the openings that they need at this point. Right? They've had a couple of those openings. Finally, I mean, it came in like, what, the 10th round that they got their first entry? And yet still, it hasn't netted them success. What's been netting them success is Modem in their 2 rounds so far. And you can't expect him to be the one-man show. 3 is the best they can gather, and I don't think that's enough cushion here up against the Titans. At least Swish, you're going to find another one. Oh. Bowden to follow suit, so maybe 3 is what they will get. Still, though, these rounds have been constantly recoverable. Oh.
That one is a scorcher. And I don't think, look, as good as an IGL I think JT is, I don't think he can IGL his way out of a 2v5. You gotta frag your way out of the situation. And since it's the last round of the half, why the heck not? But it's not gonna work. It's ATK actually with a flawless one towards the back end of this one. We're gonna go ahead and bring this one to a break. And we're jumping back into the Road to Rio America's RMR. As Complexity are leading 12-3 at the half. But ATK ended on a flawless note. See if they can at least roll some momentum into this one to keep it going. But I think what we've seen out of this one, Cole, Complexity have looked like an A-tier team.
Yeah, it looks like they've, you know, bailed out of absolutely 0 rounds so far, even in pretty hefty disadvantages right now. But starting it off in the advantage once again is ATK, able to find an opening pick there on the Holzerk. They need some help though soon. They're getting crunched in upon B. Missed him, still offering up heroic defense. He's good for 2, but eventually he will be bested, and that's the site compromised.
Oh, and Swisher can't find any success. He gets knocked down. Players start to begin this flank, but Complexity realize that this is an absolute juking of the defense. They came up the B stairs, and the Complexity are just going to go ahead and plant the bomb on A. JT looking for that last one, but it's Modem on the other end of things. Will dole out at least a headshot on the back end. Bowden has also slipped a gap in towards spawn that Fang is not going to be aware of. In just a moment's notice, he will take his time for the kill, and all of a sudden it has to be a 1v2 for Vloppy, but it almost seems like this is his zone. Can he make it happen here? No, Bowden will deny, and it actually would be ATK picking up an upset pistol.
There you go. I mean, we talked about Complexity showing no bounds there when it comes to disadvantages right there. The same case is true for ATK, able to pull back a round that they had no business getting into, and that factor might allow them to build up some momentum. Again, a bomb plant, you're going to probably see some good investments come out from Cole here in the next one, but pulling that one back is definitely an accomplishment that can lead to, you know, some full-time success here in ATK trying to pull this game on back here. And a lot of A1S is being brought to the table, so they're making sure to respect the opposition. Then quickly get back into this one. Lovely HG, gonna chunk half the HP off of Holzerk. Modem, always getting tested though early on. Flashbang's good, and the bailout successful.
Also, a stat worth mentioning, Bowden Master is one of the most CT-sided players in all of Counter-Strike. Average is a 1.26. Now, if your name's not Simple, that's pretty impressive.
That is a good point. Yeah, I mean, again, that's going to be another one of those cases to make for ATK to get back into this one. They cannot afford to lose this round, and Grim, oh, he's looking to shut things down.
Grim looking good. Grim keeps going. That makes 3. He just walks up B stairs and doles out a couple headshots. And even on the flank, Holzerk. That's a stinger. This could just be the dagger. You don't want to... You want to win the pistol, but you don't want to lose against the force, and that is what Grim has brought to the table. Make that 4, make that 13 for Complexity.
Yeah, that's not the answer back that you're hoping for. Especially with how good the setup was for that round. I mean, you could see the opening proceeding right there. Madam with the early pickoff and the dismount. It was looking so pretty. It was exactly, you know, the sort of proactivity that Complexity were throwing at the table, right? But I don't know. The issues come thereafter, and the issues come with Grim consistently for ATK, that they cannot seem to find a way to shut this guy down, and understandably so.
And so ATK desperation buying Deagles. This is already looking very, very bleak. ATK kind of came into this with a bit of hope, a bit of hype. At least from some in NA. Bottom definitely delivered on that, but I think Complexity are a different beast. I think we said for a lot of these opening matches that there will be an easier opponent down the stretch. That is just how the Swiss system works. JT just spots the head, sees the boost, aware. Off with your head. Wisher. Deagle on land sometimes hits, but not today. Could have been a big lineup there for Fady. Things could have gotten weird, but at the end of the day, Complexity laugh it off. They're up 14-4.
Feels like Fady's always good for one with the Deagle in his hand, man. Somehow he makes it work. Very pretty, but what's even more good looking is this Complexity roster. Bullet included. Nothing's quite stopping them at the moment.
Always have to take a step out of the way to compliment them all. What a nade! Come on, Grim! That's foul! He's at the back of spawn throwing HGs at the choke point, and as they come down the ladder, Grim, well, he'll receive a dink, but he's here to clean up.
Jeez.
I mean, utter awareness here, just manhandled this kind of push. Complexity, guys. They're just enjoying. They're eco hunting at this rate. It's about to be 15. Win the pistol, but lose the force is the worst possible formula you can put together if you want to start a comeback. 15-4, Complexity are looking like the team we expected they were going to be in this event.
Yeah, no doubt. This is the form that they need to. We talked about ATK potentially being an upset team. But again, Complexity proven that they've stepped ahead of the pack right now in terms of the competition here locally in North America. And, you know, with the introduction of Halzerk, nothing really can stop them. Very, very promising stuff. Grim has been on fire as of recent.
Continuing that, of course. Floppy had a hell of a game. Coming very close to a near deathless CT side. He's basically died in all the rounds that they've lost. And I'm actually pretty sure that matches 100%. So Operation Kill Floppy is a go for ATK if they want to win. That is not scientifically proven.
Seems about right, though, man. It's insane that he's rocking that KD compared to the rest of his team, though. All that being said, they've got plenty of opportunities to finish the job at the moment. And I don't think that they're going to really stop in form. I don't think that ATK really have it in them to stop them either.
So out towards middle, Grim. Oh, just taking all the space. Beatty trying to find something, some space. And now that Grim realizes, oh, that's the mid player, well, he meets him. And Fady will actually deal out the killing blow to Grim. And a surprise turn of events.
Yeah, nice shot right there. Fady holding down, shutting down the monster, it seems. That's what's necessary here, I think, for ATK to actually win a round. You got to figure out a way to stop Grim, because he has pulled back everything. Flashbang's going to be really well timed, but only good for a singular kill, and then finished off. Fang recovering as well. Halzerk and Fang do have something to say. Fady's still stepping up, though, and Floppy left it to a 1-on-3. If there was any man you wanted in this position, Floppy to pull off a little clutch action would certainly be it.
They would need to kill Floppy to win the round. Floppy in the 1v3. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, boys. Yeah, there's no way, right? No way he could possibly win that. It's Fady to lock it in with a nice 3K, and it's ATK to keep their head above water. I mean, every single rep you can get on this stage here, the road to Rio, definitely means something for this ATK unit.
That it does, and they want to make some sort of, you know, pull back into this game, right? And whether that be getting a couple of rounds to actually build some confidence, something along those lines, right? Maybe make it less one-sided. All that being said, I don't know if that'll be granted to them here. It's hard to stop this ATK roster. Even what we got out of Floppy in that last round, almost pulling that one back. Couldn't quite deal with the crossfire in time, but look at the space that they're taking. So confident. Just moving up the ramp here with very little resistance. And I talked about this being a strong suit for them.
Missed him. A nice shot at an ATK. We're definitely still fighting with some gusto in this game. Does Complexity have to go back and their wounds? Autumn playing this close angle once again. And there you go. I was waiting for it. The flash from Fady was there. And the information as well for ATK is the same. Fady considering the swing potentially. Swisher dueling out, but he only has the FAMAS. He runs out of ammo. It goes back down to this 3v3.
Oh, it's becoming very awkward there. Nice reposition from Mistum is going to allow him to play a whole lot more comfortable. Floppy, is he ready for this? Timing not favoring Floppy. The turnaround almost did, though. Fang gets him on the re-aggression, and Fang finds another. The follow-up on a Bowden, absolutely stunning. It's all on this flank of Fady to finish the job. Bomb's been recovered. Fang spots him out, and he doesn't die. He stays alive. He doesn't drop the bomb here, and all of a sudden, they're on for the clutch.
And Halzerk just holding. Halzerk just holding. And all he needs to do, headphones can be taken off here, Complexity. They didn't even have to really work for it all that much. They breeze past ATK.